Well, I'm happy to say the CVR is fixed. I got the fender eliminator kit in and put on and wired correctly, which worried me because I hate wiring to begin with. But it all came out good. The plate clears the exhaust, so I shouldn't have any of the previous issues which I had with the other one, where I hit the pipe and broke and blew fuses and all kinds of stupid shit. So should be good now. Just had Memorial Day yesterday. I had to work the weekend, but I had the day off and actually did 2 videos, but I was having issues with my GoPro software. My editing was all fucked up and I had to scrap the video and start all over. But being that it's the unofficial start of summer now, I figured that I would touch a little bit on what I plan to do with the bike and some rides that I want to go on for the summer. I did join a couple of Facebook groups that are local for people that get together and do rides and stuff. I figured I'd try that out because the majority of the riding that I do is either on my own, and every once in a while I go with my neighbor or some co-workers, but most of the time I just go out and, you know, I don't like to be told where we're going. For the most part, I kind of like to go where I want to go, but I do like doing group rides, so I figured I would give that a shot, see how I like it. I don't know any of the people in either of the 2 groups that I join except for one person, but we'll see how it goes. If it turns out to be a good thing, then I'll stick with it. If they turn out to be a bunch of raging dickheads, then I'll go back to doing what I always do. I did end up selling the 2006 Red Bull CVR. I got a good offer on it. He didn't try and bring me down on my price at all, and I contemplated for a long time of whether I wanted to keep the bike and have 2, which is, you know, anytime you think of having a bike, the only thing better than one bike is having 2, and that was my initial thought as well. But what really changed my mind was the downtime that I had with this bike while I was waiting for the fender eliminator kit to come in and waiting to get it put on, was that I took the 06 out for a little while for a few rides, and then it made me realize how much I didn't really like the bike anymore compared to this one. It's just so much more updated and refined, and I fit better on the bike. I like the seating positioning better. I like the extra power that it has. I like the lesser weight that it has. Just everything about it is so much better that I don't see a day where it would be like it is today, where it's in the 80s and beautiful and sunny out, and I would walk into the garage and pick the 2006 over the 2008. It just was never going to happen. And my other thought too was to turn that bike into a track bike, which a lot of people that do track days said I would love to have a dedicated track bike and a street bike, because I generally hate riding in Portland. It sucks. I hate all the cars, and everyone's a lot more aggressive in this type of driving area than out in the open roads and in the country. There's just more traffic, more things to watch out for, more people. Everyone's in a hurry and everyone's doing something else other than driving, and it just freaking sucks. But I had a bunch of errands to run this morning. I had to go and throw money in the bank from the bikes from selling it, and had to re-sign my lease for where I'm at for another year, because I absolutely hate moving and I'm not planning on doing it anytime soon. And I've just been running around, snapped a few pictures of the bike in some pretty cool spots, and I also ordered a new set of levers this morning before I left the house. Hopefully they'll be in this week so I can put them on over the weekend. I ended up going with the red set. I was kind of back and forth in my head of what I really wanted to get. I was thinking about getting a matte black color to kind of match the bike, and then I also wanted to break the color up on the bike a little bit, and I wanted to add some red accents to it because the stainless steel brake lines are red. So I figured it would be better to go with the red levers to match the brake lines, and my helmet's red too, so kind of breaks the color up on this bike just a little bit. I really love the matte color versus a shiny, you know, paint job or anything like that, but I did want to add a little bit more to it. And other than that, I would like to add a power commander. I've never run one on any of the bikes that I've had before. And I might possibly do a gear swap. Well, I always say gear swap. I don't know why I'm so used to Mustangs and cars that I always say gear swap, but if I want to do a sprocket swap on it, like I had on the 06, I went -1 and +2, -1 in the front, +2 in the back, and it made it a lot more snappy down low. This bike is pretty damn quick just as it is in its stock form compared to even the other bike, which had mods on it and stuff. But with this one being a lighter bike with more power, it just, even with the other bike with a sprocket swap on it, this one still felt faster. So I can't imagine what this one will be like with the same thing done. But I don't think I'm going to tackle that for this summer. I think I'll probably do the other things I mentioned, and from there I will probably do the sprocket swap in the spring next year. Funny thing happened earlier. I wish I had the GoPro on at the time. I didn't, because I don't ride around the whole time with it on, because when I go to upload the video to do all the editing, if I have a 3-hour long video, it'll take absolutely forever to upload. So I turn it off and on as I'm riding or as I want to do stuff for the motovlog. But there was a car in front of me. It was an older guy. He was probably, I'd say, in his 60s, 70s, somewhere around there. Stuck his hand out the window and gave me one of the, pull up to me signals. So I pull up to him and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know you have a headlight out." And some people don't, well, a lot of people don't know this, but especially on the CBRs, I think it's like this for all sport bikes with dual headlights. I know it definitely is for the CBRs, but with low beam on, you only have one headlight on. In high beam, both lights come on. So he thought I had a headlight out, so he waves me up to say, "Hey, you have a headlight out." And I'm like, "Oh," I explained it to him real quick, and I'm like, "Don't worry about it, it happens to me all the time." And he kind of laughed about it, and I said, "Thanks for letting me know, though." And it's just one of those weird things, there's all kinds of stuff that I see while I'm riding that I wish I could get on the GoPro, but I just can't record everything that I see, so it makes it hard. The only thing I hate more than urban city riding is friggin' interstate. It's such a clusterfuck every time you're on this thing, and that's why I hated bringing the bike back so much, because the traffic was so bad to begin with. And I do have some red wheel tape coming as well, which will help break the color up a little bit more. That should be here this week. I ordered a new oil filter and some oil, and I think all that will be here this week, so I can do an oil change on it this weekend. I think it was recently done, but I would rather just know that it was done so I can keep track of mileage wise when all the maintenance has been performed on it. It's a lot easier doing it that way than going off someone's word from what they said. I never got why people, especially in this state, when it gets nice out, they put their windows up and turn their AC on in their cars, when we spend 6 months of the year in the friggin' cold wishing for it to be nice. And then when it finally gets nice, everyone wants to be cold again. I didn't get that. I very rarely ever put the windows up in my car and run the AC. I usually have them down, and I don't know, people are just weird, I guess.